Hi everyone, my name is Z. I am from Wonder Spark Puppets, and today we are going to be making a very special craft to celebrate Rosh Hashanah. That's right, Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, is this Friday at sundown. That's when it begins, and one of the very special things that we use to celebrate Rosh Hashanah is a shofar. Now, if you're not Jewish, you might be wondering, what is a shofar? Well, it's typically a ram's horn that is played in the temple or in the synagogue during services to celebrate Rosh Hashanah and to ring in the new year. It has a very special sound, and actually all of the different sounds that the shofar makes, depending on who's playing it, they all have a special name, and it's a very significant part of Rosh Hashanah. And if you've been to services on Rosh Hashanah, then you know the sound that the shofar makes. And if you've never heard that sound before, be sure to look it up. It's really cool and really interesting. And I've heard that they are not easy to play. So if you get a really good shofar player, that's super special. So anyway, I thought it would be fun if we could make our own shofars to toot in the new year ourselves, and that we will all have a prosperous, amazing, sweet, wonderful new year. So let's go ahead and get started. We will be making this shofar out of materials that we already have at our house. We will need 3 toilet paper tubes, and even if there's just a little bit of toilet paper still left on the tube, don't worry about it. We're going to be covering that up. You will need some masking tape. I have this thick masking tape, but if you have thinner masking tape, that's fine too. But something that is opaque. Opaque means that you cannot see through it. If you don't have masking tape, I suppose duct tape could also work, but something that you can't see through. And some scissors. And something to decorate your shofar with if you want to decorate with. I will be using some quick sticks today, which are like a solid tempera paint. And thank you to one of our supporters for getting these quick sticks for us off of our wish list. Thank you so much. So now let's go ahead and get started on our Rosh Hashanah shofar DIY craft. So the first thing that you're going to do is take one of your toilet paper tube rolls. And just go ahead and cut it all the way down one straight line so that it's opened up. And then we're going to roll it into kind of an ice cream cone shape so that one end is tight and the other end is loose. Just like that. See how this end is loose and that end is tight? It looks a lot like an ice cream cone. And then what we're going to do is take our tape and tape that shut. Now, if you have a helper to help you with the tape, that might be a nice thing. Or you could have pieces of tape already peeled off of the roll. That is also the way to go with this. So I am going to put my tape right onto the seam right there to kind of hold that closed. And now I'll just show you what that looks like. So now it's closed just like that, but we still have our larger opening at the top. We're going to take our next toilet paper tube, same thing, cut it right down the middle, just like this. And we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to make our ice cream cone not quite so tight at the bottom. You kind of feel it out. Sometimes the material will tell you, I want to go this way, and you say, okay. But just kind of keep twirling it in your hands until you're able to get the shape that you want. There we go. Just like this, so that it's overlapped a bit, but still bigger than your other ice cream cone at the bottom, right here. You see that? So this one I can tell is bigger because I can actually fit 2 fingers into it, but it's still bigger at the top. Okay, that's important because we want that gradual incline of it getting bigger so that it looks like a horn. And I just took that piece of tape and I put it right over the seam, just like that. And then what we're going to do is take these 2 pieces and put them inside of each other. Oh, you know what? I think that this could even be opened up a little bit more and bigger. So maybe I'll wait to attach this tape until it's inside so I know exactly how big I want it. Aha! I wanted it even bigger at the bottom. So now I made it even bigger, so it just fits snugly inside of the other tube, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tilt it a little bit when I tape them together. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, and then at the bottom here, I'm going to kind of tilt it a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try holding it like this. Can you see how I'm tilting it? And I'm going to bend this part down. Here, I'll put the tape on it and then tilt it, and then I'm just going to stick it down like that. And this is going to give us that nice curved shape like this. It doesn't look pretty yet. It's okay. What we're going to do is take another piece of tape and just wrap it around this whole seam right here, and that'll cover up everything. So you get a nice long big piece of tape, and then we just go over the whole seam right here in the middle. And if you have extra, just kind of keep going around until it's all covered up like that. So you should have something that's starting to bend a little bit like that. And then we're going to take our last toilet paper tube roll, and if it fits just like it is, then we're just going to stick it in just like that. If you feel like you need to curve it in any way, you can bend it in a little bit, but I wouldn't cut this last one. You shouldn't have to cut it because it should just fit right in there like that. And then we're going to take another big piece of tape and go over the whole seam of where those two came together. Okay, so now we have the basic shape of our shofar. And what we're going to do is just take tape and cover the whole thing in tape so that it's one uniformed color. All right, so I just keep taking larger pieces of tape. I'm going to start at one end and just kind of slowly wind my way down so that I have one nice uniformed look to the whole thing. And this is why I suggest masking tape, because I find masking tape to be very forgiving with markers and with quick sticks and other things like that, or paint if you wanted to paint. If you have any acrylic or tempera paints at home, those could also work too. So you see I just kind of angle it a little bit, and I'm just wrapping it around the whole thing and making my way down. You just smooth it out. If you have some wrinkles, just smooth them out as best you can. All right. It's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay, because this is gonna be your unique shofar that you're making for Rosh Hashanah. Now, if you celebrate Rosh Hashanah, I wonder what are some of the special things that you and your family do every year at Rosh Hashanah, and are you doing any of those things this year? I know my family, we always dip apples in honey. And today I was reading about some families that put fish heads on their table and have fish as part of their Rosh Hashanah celebration as well. I'd never heard of that. We've always had gefilte fish, which I love, but I never realized the significance of the fish head, which was very interesting. Another fruit that you might see at the Rosh Hashanah table is a pomegranate, which is, if you've never had a pomegranate, delicious. My older son, who's 7 years old, loves pomegranates. I'm almost done covering this in tape. And to do the kind of like winding wrap that I'm doing, you kind of want to angle the tape a little bit when you put it on. And then it'll wind itself around nicely. And here at the end, I'm just using smaller pieces to really get that nice defined look. I still have a little bit of like bumpiness happening right here, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one more covering right there in the middle to try to smooth that out a little bit more. But again, happy accidents here. You know, no one is perfect, no year is perfect, and we are making our very own unique art right now. There. There, that really smoothed it out quite a bit, actually. I'm pretty happy with our shofar that we've made. So now the next step is decorating, which is, you know, everybody gets to do what they want to do to make their shofar unique to them. I really am into purple these days, so I think I'm going to take this purple quick stick and color the edges of my shofar. Now, typically, a shofar in the temple is not going to be decorated, but this is, you know, our own shofar, so we can decorate it. Or you could just leave it plain so that it looks like the shofar in the temple and it looks more like a ram's horn, because the masking tape does look quite a bit like a ram's horn color in some ways. And I think we'll do another couple circles, maybe some blue here. There we go. And let's do some green. Just like that. And then if you are using this quick drying solid tempera paint stick, it will dry within a minute or two. And then you can play your shofar all over your house. There are a lot of different sounds that you can make with your shofar, but a traditional sound would be a long tone like something like that, and then a lot of short little tones like this. Now, it's clearly a toy shofar, it's not a real shofar, but you get the idea. And if you want to blast your shofar to welcome in the new year, I hope that you will try making this DIY craft that we did with you today. And if you do make this shofar, please take a picture of your creation and post it in the comments of this video. We love to see all of the amazing creations that everyone makes. And be sure to tune in every week for another DIY puppet craft from Wonder Spark Puppets. And if you like this kind of online content, you want to see more, head on over to wondersparkpuppets.com. There's a lot of different ways that you can support this kind of work that we have been putting together since the middle of March for our online viewers. And one last thing, if you have a special day coming up, a holiday, a celebration, a birthday, and you would like to celebrate that in a special way virtually, please be sure to be in touch. We would love to be a part of your special occasion. We can perform, we can do a workshop, we could do both. So just email us, call us, and let us know what you'd like, and we would love to talk to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Shana Tova, Happy New Year, and we will see you all next week. Bye.